Welcome, Shadow Seekers, to American Shadows, Crimes and Chronicles. Today, we're unearthing a tale that'll haunt your thoughts long after it ends. Whether you're glued to the screen or just listening in, you're in for a wild ride through history's darkest corners. If you're new, hit subscribe to join our mission of exposing America's hidden truths. Regulars, your likes fuel our journey into the unknown. Now, let's peel back the layers of time and reveal the secrets beneath. Ready? Let's begin. 10 killed, 3 weeks of terror. The chilling story of the D.C. snipers. Hello, friends, and welcome to American Shadows, Crimes and Chronicles. Today we're delving into one of the most terrifying chapters in recent American history. On October 2nd, 2002, the Washington D.C. metropolitan area became the hunting ground for two individuals who would hold an entire region hostage to fear for 23 harrowing days. What transforms a bustling capital region into a landscape of terror? How do two men with a rifle bring a city to its knees? And what does this chilling series of events reveal about the vulnerabilities in our society and the resilience of communities in the face of unspeakable horror? Before we dive into this heart-stopping tale, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you who support our work. Your engagement allows us to shed light on these difficult but important moments that have shaped our nation in profound ways. As the sun set on October 2nd, 2002, the residents of the Washington, D.C. area went about their evening routines, blissfully unaware that their world was about to be turned upside down. At 5:20 p.m., the crack of a high-powered rifle shattered the peace in Aspen Hill, Maryland. James Martin, a 55-year-old program analyst, fell dead in a grocery store parking lot. This seemingly random act of violence would be the opening salvo in a 3-week reign of terror that would leave 10 people dead and 3 critically wounded. The next morning, October 3rd, the true horror of what was unfolding became apparent. In the span of just 2 hours, 5 more people were shot and killed in separate incidents across Montgomery County, Maryland. The victims were going about their daily routines, pumping gas, mowing a lawn, sitting on a bench. Each was killed by a single shot fired with chilling precision from a distance. James L. Sonny Buchanan, 39, was shot while mowing grass at a car dealership. Premkumar Walekar, 54, was killed while filling his taxi with gas. Sarah Ramos, 34, died while sitting on a bench outside a post office. Lori Ann Lewis Rivera, 25, was struck down as she vacuumed her minivan at a gas station. Pascal Charlot, 72, was walking along the street in Washington, D.C. when he became the 5th victim that day. As news of the shooting spread, panic gripped the Washington, D.C. area. The randomness of the attacks was particularly terrifying. Anyone, anywhere, could be the next victim. Schools went into lockdown, outdoor activities were canceled, and people were afraid to pump gas or shop for groceries. Gas stations draped tarps over their pumps to protect customers from being exposed to the sniper's line of sight. People began walking in zigzag patterns and ducking behind their cars while filling up, desperate to make themselves less of a target. Law enforcement scrambled to respond to the crisis. The investigation quickly became one of the largest and most complex in American history, involving federal, state, and local agencies. But the perpetrators seemed to be ghosts, leaving no traces behind except for the tarot card found at one of the crime scenes, with the chilling message, "Dear policeman, I am God." As the days wore on, the sniper or snipers, authorities weren't sure how many they were dealing with, continued their deadly spree. They expanded their range, striking in Virginia, and even venturing into Washington, D.C. itself. Each new attack brought fresh terror and frustration. On October 7th, 13-year-old Iran Brown was shot and critically wounded outside his middle school in Bowie, Maryland. The attack on a child seemed to plumb new depths of depravity and intensified the already palpable fear in the community. The snipers began to taunt law enforcement, leaving notes at crime scenes demanding $10 million to stop the killings. They attempted to communicate with police through the media, but their cryptic messages only added to the confusion and fear. A botched attempt to contact the snipers led to the arrest of 2 innocent men, further complicating the investigation. As the death toll mounted, so did the pressure on law enforcement to catch the killers. Profilers suggested that the sniper was likely a lone white male with military training, a theory that would prove to be wildly off the mark. The media coverage was relentless, with every new development broadcast live to a terrified public. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. On October 17th, a man called the Task Force tip line, claiming to be the sniper. He mentioned a shooting in Montgomery, Alabama that had occurred weeks earlier. This lead allowed investigators to identify two suspects, John Allen Muhammad, a 41-year-old Army veteran, and Lee Boyd Malvo, his 17-year-old accomplice. But even with names and descriptions, catching the snipers proved challenging. They continued their attacks, even taunting police with messages demanding money. It wasn't until October 24th, after 23 days of terror, that Muhammad and Malvo were finally apprehended at a rest stop in Maryland. They were found sleeping in the very vehicle they had modified to carry out their attacks. A blue 1990 Chevrolet Caprice with a sniper's nest built into the trunk. The arrest brought relief to a traumatized region, but it also raised disturbing questions. How had these two individuals managed to evade one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history for so long? And what had motivated their brutal killing spree? As the investigation unfolded, a complex picture emerged. John Allen Muhammad, it was revealed, had a history of domestic violence and harbored deep resentments. He had lost custody of his children and was embroiled in a bitter divorce. Investigators believed that Muhammad's ultimate goal was to use the sniper attacks as a way to extort money from the government, which he planned to use to start a new life with his children. Lee Boyd Malvo, barely more than a child, had fallen under Muhammad's sway after they met in the Caribbean. Malvo viewed Muhammad as a father figure and was a willing participant in the deadly plot. The relationship between the two was a disturbing blend of mentorship and manipulation, with Muhammad molding Malvo into a killer. The trial that followed captivated the nation. Both men were tried in Virginia, which allowed the death penalty for Malvo despite his age. Muhammad was sentenced to death and executed in 2009. Malvo received multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole, though recent Supreme Court rulings regarding juvenile offenders have opened the possibility for him to seek resentencing. The D.C. sniper attacks left an indelible mark on American society. They exposed vulnerabilities in our sense of security and challenged law enforcement's ability to respond to a new kind of threat. The attacks led to changes in how police respond to active shooter situations and improvements in interagency cooperation. For the families of the victims and the countless individuals traumatized by the attacks, no punishment could erase the scars left behind. The randomness of the crimes, the fact that anyone could have been a victim, continued to haunt the public consciousness long after the snipers were caught. Perhaps the most lasting impact was psychological. For many in the Washington D.C. area, the simple act of pumping gas or walking across a parking lot would never feel quite the same again. The attack served as a stark reminder of how fragile our sense of safety can be, and how quickly ordinary life can be disrupted by extraordinary evil. Yet, amidst the terror, there were also stories of resilience and community. Neighbors looked out for each other, volunteers staffed crisis hotlines, and local businesses found ways to protect their customers. In the face of fear, many people found strength in unity and compassion. As we reflect on the events of October 2002, we're confronted with unsettling questions about security, justice, and the dark potential that lurks within human nature. How do we balance our desire for safety with the need to live free, open lives? What drives individuals to commit such heinous acts? And how can society best respond to and prevent such tragedies? The D.C. sniper attacks remind us of the ongoing challenges we face in ensuring public safety and understanding the complexities of criminal behavior. They highlight the importance of community vigilance, effective law enforcement, and the need for systems to identify and intervene in cases of radicalization or extreme behavior before they lead to violence. This is American Shadows, where we peer into the darker corners of our nation's past and present. Until next time, remember that history isn't just a collection of dates and names. It's a living force that shapes our world in ways both seen and unseen. The echoes of those 23 days of terror in 2002 continue to resonate, influencing how we think about public safety, law enforcement, and the very nature of evil in our society. Stay curious, stay engaged, and keep watching American Shadows. For in understanding our past, we gain insights that can help us navigate the complex landscape of our present and future. What are your thoughts on how the DC sniper attacks changed America's sense of security? How do you think we can better prevent such crimes in the future? Share your perspectives in the comments below. Your insights add invaluable depth to these difficult but necessary discussions. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of the most terrifying chapters in recent American history. Until next time, remember that even in our darkest moments, the resilience of communities and the dedication of those who protect us can shine through, offering hope for a safer tomorrow.